Chapter 4. Dreams dark, silent end, sudden jolt, a breath of air, waking, life reborn.
He's stabilizing. He is out of the mental coma and responding like he's in digital sleep. I say we let him dream it off and wake up naturally. Whatever he's been through needs to fully heal.
Joel Jonathan Brash.
I've lost track of the days, despite the easy math. Almost a year. No. Over a year. The time is irrelevant to the tasks and goal required. I haven't forgotten them. In actuality, it's best if they have forgotten me. Stealth is one of the best weapons. My sight lies in geomancy. To feel the wood in the paper was the answer. It was difficult at first to focus constantly. Now I would consider my normal sight inferior to the almost perfect clairvoyance. All life holds its own color. However, you may have noted I now must script in blood to see my writings. It is my story, so I know whose blood must be used. Saelia is my constant companion, reading all I lack in vision. She has become the only love in my life. Her actions betray her speech. The complaints and worries are only voiced, yet her actions speak volumes. She cares for me deeply. It is said that a fairy can grant one wish in her lifetime. Just as my sister told her not to use it for her hearing, I have said the same for my vision. Her offer is a profound gesture, but not what she truly wishes for herself. She still thinks in the terms of flesh, unable to see the scope of her own ageless lifetime. She can barely remember Echo anymore. I don't trouble her over it. I've learned her memory is limited considering the size of her brain and the almost immortal lifespan. It's likely why she's so cheerful, she's such a daft pinhead. I owe everything to her now. She's the only good thing in my life. I was blind and left with nothing. The floating girl, whose wings sound like faint wind chimes, begs me to move. The cries give away her despair of Echo and my possible coming death. I don't speak, only hush her calmly. She wears herself out and sobs apologies. I can't comfort her. There is no comfort in the place we are in. I can't tell anymore if it's tears or blood coming from around my eyes. I see no hope in this new darkness. The morning dawns with my light wounds healed. I can feel the death around me now like a deeper darkness. The epiphany happens. The world becomes blurs for feelings. Feelings as familiar as childhood friends of 30 years ago. I now know I will see again with my mind one day. I ask my winged love to scribe the day, for fear I shall forget or never have the chance. I meditate to sharpen my senses. Saelia then brought humans to my aid. They've decided to rob me. They tell me they want to remove my armor to tend my wounds. I have no open wounds. I only need assistance to the nearest town. They use force, so I am forced to reply in kind. I may not see, but I can feel their hands grasp my arms. I don't need eyes to grapple. I throw them into the gutter after the bruising. I become a thief of thieves by taking one of their mounts. Saelia finds my saddle in a tree a few hours later. The large tiger is quick to see that I'm much nicer, yet due to Saelia being both a toy and a potential snack for him, I trade, Loke I think his name was, him in for a female bird mount back in town. I rename her Traxie. What the fowl lacks in tracking or hunting it more than makes up for intelligence and speed. Saelia was also glad to stop hiding within my vest plate. As I remember, she had a few choice words about her time in there. She asked me to wash with mild oil extracts from flowers. I have to admit, I do smell better. However, there is something to be said for liking how girls smell and smelling like a girl. I still use oil extract in my soap, just not from flowers anymore. I digress. I still draw breath, therefore I must continue my quest. I've returned to the temple. They bend their rules for Saelia to be my seeing eye fairy or some such. I knew I would be hiding behind safe walls from my enemy. I knew I could not win if challenged now. I needed to brood and build my strength. I still do. Knowledge is strength. The tracks are cold. So I must lay sheet webs and wait for the web of to snare my prey for me. End log. Age of Bella 26 Hell 15875. I found my prey some time ago. 7 years of failure rewarded. 7 years of bartenders, kayas, law endowment and bounty hunters being paid as informants. Bribes made possible by destroying corpses that still move and hunger. I sold what was left of the swamp plantation also. The irony wasn't lost on me that I had set fire to my sister's home in the explosion years ago. I seem to burn the lives I touch. Fitting I found a smoke rat to tell me where to go. A handful of coin is all loyalty is worth to the wasted. I have become strong, swift, skilled and formidable. All for what? This was not what I sought. Not this short, fat, balding, petulant, useless excuse for a human. Perhaps I still have my goal, but have I been robbed of my satisfaction? In only a few short years, this formidable opponent has become more likely to die of the mundane than any noteworthy effort or accomplishment. If I were to take his life, what would be lost? What pain of loss would he fear in those final moments? What do I do? What is fair and just? How I want his fear and pain. The death of this coward would not stave my hunger. He is so weak. There would be no pride in his death, no honor, no point. How much evil do I truly wish to use in my vengeance? Should I wait until he finds another to share his cesspool with? Wait until they copulate their own brood? When will it be ripe to strike? What will be the price he needs to pay for my pain? He has nothing worth destroying. This can't be justice without balance. All my effort to do evil to evil has been thrown to the fungal flowers if I do nothing. Nothing is what he changed me into. The nothing in my mind is all I have left from before 7 years. It is where all my agony grows rampant and the demons whisper of my pathetic escape from death. I've come to terms that these feelings will never go away. Nothing I do will ever change that. But someone must suffer for my suffering. Someone needs to die. End log. Age of Bella 115,881.
A chunk of his lip hung from his mouth. Half a tooth drooled to the floor, changing the spatter to a pooled combination of his leaked internal fluids. As the pool lengthened, his life shortened. It didn't happen due to blood loss. It happened due to no blood movement. Not unlike drowning, the body convulsed violently in an agonizing pain as each cell starved to death at the same time. The nerves were slave to their function, unable to grant mercy to their owner. Perhaps the mind died from the excruciating feeling, rather than being dragged down from the fall of the liquid flesh. Regardless, dead is dead. I can assure you, this man was evil in life. I will not elaborate. I will not speak ill of the dead. Whatever the horror he felt in its passing, it was a prelude overture to crescendo of death and the symphony of an afterlife of agony. The hell you planned for another became your own. Is it strange I shall mourn you? Is it strange that your enemy would want to provide a eulogy? I envy his conviction. Being resolved from the beginning, he confronted things headlong. A worthy adversary unlike any I have faced. He made me stronger and showed me that there was more to discipline than focus. He made me dead. You poisoned me before revealing your notice of me. You had assured victory before the battle even begun. I deluded myself thinking I was the cunning one, paying a hobo to live in a fake house in my name, spreading clues and feeding scraps for this bloodhound to find. A trap that played its part. And you used it, you played it against me. You let the trapper bind himself to the trap. You let me catch myself for you. Perhaps even a fake entry into these memoirs? Brilliant if so. A flawless performance. John Ash. Were it not for your honor to face me, you would still live. For what, I know not. It's obvious your story was not a comedy. No, You choose your life to wear another mask. I know this you. Now, I've read this new you through the pages. I didn't kill one man twice. I've killed two different men entirely. Speaking of which, forgive the desecration of your remains. I simply want you to stay dead this time. If your old life is given its own soul, may it be allowed into paradise by sheer comparison of what you became. My reasons and who I am are my story. I will not disgrace these contents with my selfishness. The slow poison has caught up to me. I fear. These few days you gave me have been surprising. I know not which of us was the stronger. Our two battles proved nothing. However, I do know you have achieved a greater victory. Unlike me, you are at peace, for you knew, if entering heaven without completing thy vengeance would be hell, complete thy vengeance and accept damnation in peace. Bound by guilt and sin, I stand alone, lost again at the curtain's end.